Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about something that might make you question everything you remember. Have you ever been completely sure about a memory? I mean, 100% positive that you saw or heard something, only to find out later that it's wrong? You might think, oh, I just made a mistake. But what if I told you that millions of other people remember the exact same wrong thing? This is not a joke, and it's not a conspiracy theory. It's a real and fascinating phenomenon called the Mandela Effect. It's when a large group of people, sometimes millions, all remember a historical event or a detail in a way that is different from how it actually happened. The name Mandela Effect was first used by a woman named Fiona Broome around 2010. She discovered that she and many others firmly believed that Nelson Mandela, the famous South African leader, had died in prison in the 1980s. People even remembered watching his funeral on television. But the truth is, Nelson Mandela was released from prison in 1990 and went on to become the president of South Africa. He actually passed away in 2013. When Fiona realized that so many people shared this same incorrect memory, she was mind blown. She started a website to discuss this, and that's how the term was born. This is where things start getting really interesting and a little spooky. Once you learn about the Mandela Effect, you'll start seeing examples of it everywhere. Let's look at some popular examples that have left millions confused. First up, a childhood classic, the cartoon character Pikachu from Pokemon. How do you remember his tail? If you're like a lot of people, you probably remember it having a black tip at the end. Take a second and try to picture it. Okay, now look at a picture of Pikachu. His tail is completely yellow with no black at all. For years, people have been creating fan art and buying toys, all with that black tip in mind. Finding out it was never there is a huge surprise for many. Let's stick with kids' stuff. Do you remember those popular children's books about a family of bears? Were they called the Berenstain bears or the Berenstain bears? The common memory is Berenstain with an E, Berenstein. But if you look at the covers of those old books now, you'll see it's actually spelled with an A, Berenstain. This one is especially confusing because people vividly recall pronouncing it Stein their whole lives. Okay, let's try a different one. The board game Monopoly. Think of the rich Uncle Pennybags character, the rich guy with the top hat. Does he wear a monocle, a single eyeglass? Many people remember him having one. They can picture it clearly, but go check a Monopoly box or search for his image online. No monocle. Never has been. This is another memory that so many people share, and it feels so right, but it's completely wrong. How about movie quotes? One of the most famous movie lines of all time is from Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. When Darth Vader reveals the truth to Luke Skywalker, what does he say? A lot of people believe he says, "Luke, I am your father." Go back and watch that famous scene. He actually says, "No, I am your father." This is a perfect example of a memory that has been retold and changed over time until the wrong version became more famous than the original. Here's another movie classic, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The evil queen goes to her magic mirror and says, "What?" The line many people remember is, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?" But the actual line from the Disney movie is, "Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?" It's a small change, just one word, but it's enough to make you scratch your head. The food world isn't safe from the Mandela Effect either. Do you remember a popular peanut butter brand called Jif? Many people remember it being called Jiffy. They are convinced they saw commercials and jar labels with that name. But the brand has always been called Jif. People think they might be confusing it with a different product, or perhaps a combination of Jif and another brand, but the shared memory of Jiffy peanut butter is widespread. Now, you might be wondering, how is this possible? How can millions of people remember things that never happened? Well, there are two main ways to look at this, and they are both interesting. The first and more scientific explanation is that our memories are not like perfect video recordings. They are more like reconstructions that are influenced by many things. Every time we recall a memory, it can be slightly altered. We can be influenced by others, by similar information, or simply by the way our brains organize and store data. Our brains often try to simplify and categorize information. In the case of the Berenstain bears, for example, Stein is a much more common ending for last names than Stain. Our brains might automatically correct the spelling in our minds to match a more familiar pattern. For Pikachu, it's possible that people's brains connected the black tips of his ears to his tail, creating a memory that makes sense visually. For movie lines, it's common for a shortened or slightly changed version to become the popular meme of that moment, and that's what we end up remembering. This idea is all about how our memory works and how it can quite easily create false memories, especially for small details. It shows us that our brains are powerful but not infallible. The second explanation is far more wild and pushes the boundaries of reality. Some people believe that the Mandela Effect is a sign that we have slipped into a parallel universe. This is the idea that there are infinite other realities, each slightly different from our own. According to this theory, in one universe, Nelson Mandela did die in prison. Pikachu has a black tip on his tail, and it is spelled Berenstain. For some unknown reason, a large number of people might have shifted from one reality to another, bringing their memories of the old reality with them. This theory, although not scientifically proven, has captured the imagination of many. It's a way to explain why the memory feels so right, because for the person remembering it, it was right, in a different reality. While it sounds like science fiction, it's a popular way for people to try and make sense of this inexplicable phenomenon. So, where does that leave us? Are we just misremembering things, or have we truly jumped dimensions? The truth is, we don't know for sure. The scientific answer seems more likely, but the parallel universe idea is certainly more exciting to think about. What we do know is that the Mandela Effect is a powerful reminder of how complex and unreliable our own memories can be. It challenges our understanding of truth and forces us to consider that what we know to be true might just be a common illusion. This story of the Mandela Effect shows that the mind is a mystery. We are all living with a memory that feels unique and personal, but it turns out that some of our strongest, most shared memories are not true at all. It's a fun and sometimes confusing thing to explore, and it definitely makes you rethink your own past. So, the next time you're completely sure about a memory, just remember, millions of other people could be sure of the exact same wrong thing. And that is the wild world of the Mandela Effect. Thanks for watching. If this video made you question your own memory, please share it with your friends to see what they remember. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join us here on the TerraVoy channel for more fascinating mysteries and mind-bending stories. Let us know in the comments below, which Mandela Effect example left you the most shocked? Until next time, keep exploring with TerraVoy.